All right, y'all. I'm back. Hello, how y'all doing? Spottlite.T.V. Bringing to you Spottlite.T.V. 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 We keep it pretty authentic on this channel. We talk about different type of things. Things that are helpful. I did want to talk about real quick. I wanted to give y'all some tips on when your vehicle. If you're having overheating issues, like, usually if it has anything to do with like you just adding water in the summertime to your vehicle, when you add water to your vehicle in the summertime, right? It freezes it. Okay, now when it gets cold, it's okay to do that in the wintertime. But when it gets cold out, in the winter, I mean, it's okay to add water in the summertime, but just remember, when you add the water in the summertime, you have to drain it out in the wintertime because it gets so cold in the winter. Especially, you guys know that how cold it gets where you live where it gets 15, 20 degrees wherever you live. A lot of places in the United States, Canada, it gets cold. You know what I mean? So you definitely have to drain it out. You can't add water in the wintertime because when it gets cold out, it'll freeze. All your hoses will freeze. Your heater hose outlets, all your hoses will freeze in the wintertime if you add water.
1704.
Sorry about that. If you add water to your I'm right here at Panera Bread. Give me something to eat. I haven't ate all day. I'm gonna get something to eat. Starving.
By any chance, did you have 4 cents?
Yeah. There goes a nickel. Keep the penny.
Thank you.
Yep. But so basically, if you have put water in your vehicle, if you add water to your vehicle during the winter time, then it's going to freeze. It's going to blow. It's going to bust something. It's going to clog something up because that water turns to ice inside of your coolant, wherever your coolant's flowing at through your hoses. That water will turn to ice, and it's going to clog your coolant through your radiator from flowing through your radiator. So, and you gotta have it flowing through your radiator system. You gotta have in the wintertime you have to drain. You have to completely drain before it gets cold. If you put water, if you happen to add water in your vehicle during the summertime, that water is going to be sitting in your vehicle through the winter too.
I'm waiting on my manager to get them changed for you.
Okay.
So you can take your food in.
All right. Thank you. All right. So basically, you have to drain it, completely drain everything out. You know what I mean? You got to completely drain everything out. All right. If you don't, like I said, it's going to clog up. Something's going to bust. So always remember, if you're putting water.
There you go,
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
You
Have a good one. If you're putting water in your coolant system, in the summertime, you have to remember to drain it. Otherwise, when it gets cold out, you're going to have that problem. And you're going to be upset. You're going to be upset that you didn't, this happened to me twice. And I was like, you know what, the second time I completely drained everything. I was like, you know what? Wow, I blew a hose. I blew a hose in my radiator. You got your upper radiator hose and your lower radiator hose. Then you got your heater hose outlets. All your outlets, you know what I mean? Running from your heater core, you know, through your heater core and everywhere else. You know what I mean? You got a couple different outlets. So you most definitely have to make sure that you flush your system completely out, your coolant system completely out before it gets cold. If you have water, if you're putting water in your reservoir or anything, you have to make sure that clears out, because when it gets cold out and it's 15-20 degrees out, that water's going to freeze your pipe. That water's going to freeze your pipe, your coolant. It's going to freeze your heater, your hoses, and then something's going to erupt, something's going to bust. You know what I mean? So it's going to put a lot of pressure. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your on one of your hoses to make something erupt and bust. You know what I mean? And then you'll be on the side of the road in the wintertime and it's freezing cold. So that's a quick tip on just completely just draining every. If you put water in your, just add nothing but coolant. Even if you got to get 4 coolants, you know, they got the cheap kind at Advanced Auto or AutoZone or Napa or wherever you go. You know what I mean? They got some of the cheap kind. It's like $10 for $10 per, which that's like concentrated with water or whatever. But I mean, if you're just adding water like that for some reason, I don't know why, but it just, when you add water to it like that, it done it to me twice until I completely drain my system out. So my advice to you, the best advice to you, is that just put nothing but coolant in. You know what I mean? Don't add water or nothing. Just put nothing but coolant in. Fill it all the way up to the top. If it takes 3.5, whatever, fill it completely up. You know what I mean? Fill it completely up, and then you shouldn't have that problem to where it's freezing cold out and you having issues with your vehicle. All right, that's a quick tip on the coolant system. I just wanted to let y'all know that. God bless y'all. Have a great day. It's sunny out. It's a beautiful day out. You know, go to work. Have a absolute wonderful day at work. Go in there and get the job done and go home. God bless.